listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. I got to try to take this intermediate stop. Remove next stop. There it is. Oh, I thought it was a Jake brake for a second. The hot rod. When you come off the highway, it's really dangerous here. What is this? What is this place called? It's where the construction zone is around Ponca, I think, right before Ponca, maybe, or maybe at Ponca. I can't remember. But I almost blew through it. So if a truck came off that highway, he might hit that Jake brake pretty hard trying to stop at that intersection. It's pretty dark, and you might want to look at that intersection. At the hotel, casino, and entertainment. What's the other part of the name? I don't know if this actually paid off, but still, with my aches and pains, I don't, moving all of that I have in one move is a lot. So splitting it up into two reduces the headache. If I had a wife, I probably would do it with her, and then we would, we'd probably both be able to get it pretty easy. So I want to get to the exit here. There's a lot of construction on the highway than underneath here, but I came off that it's kind of dark, I guess. I came off that exit ramp, and when I got down to the end, these lights are out right here. That's what part of it is. There's supposed to be some street lamps right here. You got to try to get one on. I know they're probably working on all that. Or put a flashing sign. I mean, they do have like very dim flashing things that I would see if I was on the side road. A Tonkawa brewery here. So you need to look there. You need to get something at the exit flashing or lit at the people exiting. Because it kind of looked like the intersection was on the other side of the intersection. But that's the brewery, right? It's not going to be hard to fix. You just got to get one of those signs that flashes looking at the person exiting south. I don't know what exiting north looks like. So, yeah, I don't know. My toll coming south was so expensive. I'm like, what? I don't know if I actually saved any money, but, and my life's so screwed up. I can't really. When you get to this point, you just got to go with it, and then you pay the debt later, The life of the poor person. All right, this thing empty is like making me drive too fast. So slow down there. Because I'm on Oklahoma roads, that's what it is. It's so funny. As soon as I came out of Kansas, it's like, it's like you're on a rural road all of a sudden. You still haven't fixed the roads up here by Ponca, from the border. Down the Ponca is pretty bad, and even, I think, past Ponca a bit. Kind of like discrimination. I guess you are trying to fix them. It's kind of slow, isn't it, though? I haven't been on this road in, like a year and a half? Yeah, the idea is to heal it. Yeah, going south at what I just said. You come off, and it's kind of weird getting to the exit, like on a dark night. I mean, it's dark tonight, and it's just the way it looks. It looks like the intersection's on the other side of the intersection. It's well lit on the other side. Like you don't expect it to be structured the way it is. It's kind of a strange exit. So I don't know. I mean, it could just be weird, but it was like almost a setup today. Like she's talking to me. Like first I pull up, and then like I pull to where they drop the vehicles off because I thought maybe that was the front entrance. There's parking or whatever, and she's in the vehicle, and she's sweeping it out. And there's like two of them there or something. Then I park my I back up because I have to park somewhere else. I park my vehicle. I go in. I wait my turn. But while I'm waiting my turn, the other woman comes in. And she helps me, which is nice, you know. Which is nice. Then she's talking to me with an attitude. But I'm like, I'm not going to let this bring me down. And she's speaking in a low monotone. I can barely hear her. And the theme is now, oh, your hearing's going. So again, is it just weird or is this part of the setup? You know, speak quietly. I mean, I could hear the other woman better than I can hear her. The other one was on the other side of the counter helping someone else. Again, it could just be weird, but it smells like a setup. So then I get outside. Well, before we get outside, she says, that I'm going to give you the trailer that was dropped off last night. It's over here. Like, okay. And I walk over and it's number 4054. I'm like, yeah, it could be a coincidence. All of a sudden, the left turn signal isn't working. And I said, I know it's probably not my vehicle, but let's be sure. You can go get another trailer. We could just put it right here or whatever, and we could try to see what it is. First, you got a cable. Cable didn't work. So she gets the other trailer. It's like a smaller one, pulls it over, and she clunks it. Dunk, 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 dunk. Like, look, you know, I didn't say anything. You know, I'm like thinking, this isn't my problem. It's your problem. No reason for an attitude. So she goes, right, your left turn signal works. Yeah, I said, I just had a trailer hooked up a few weeks ago. So she's sitting there and she says, you know, it's up to you. You know, you can take it like that. I said, look, I can't take it like that. I said, that's against the law. And she said a couple other things, you know, hinting that, you know, it's my choice. I could take it. Again, if they were setting me up, maybe they think the 5-4 would be pressure for me to take it. So she hooks the other one up and didn't give me my blankets. I'm like, I better go get a, you know, touch base with them and cancel it or go over and get them. But I never got them. But it's really weird because this guy came up to me and says, you know, I had a U-Haul recently and I couldn't believe the woman. She was going to charge me because I didn't fold the blankets. So I go over there and I didn't know it was that place. And she's like, you don't fold the blankets, I'll charge you. I'm thinking, oh, this must be the place here. I mean, the other guy was like so chill. And like a small franchise, that's like a company store. I'm not gonna do her, but you know, I call corporate, I'd get her in trouble. But I'm not interested in that. But again, I mean, it may have been a setup. There might be some cops that had that, set up so, somewhere someone could pull me over because I didn't have left turn signal and write me a ticket or something or say something or whatever. What is that? When did you take my X-ray when I came into across the during the daytime you don't notice that. At night, I swear, I mean maybe I just saw it weird because it's dark out. But as soon as I hit the Oklahoma border, there was like with like an overhead thing, it went flash like bright. I was like, whoa! It's supposed to happen, I guess, over top your vehicle. It's not supposed to happen in front of your vehicle. It's like a hazard. I don't know. Did you do the flare or whatever it is? A little CAT scan when I crossed the border. It was bright. That's too bright, whatever it was. Maybe it's just the way I moved my eye, because you can get like an optical illusion that it's flashing. It may have just been a light that was on. Now, like I said, it's really dark out now. It's raining. That's why it's so dark. But I came out of the, was that Tocala, whatever it was, the gas station there, the Pilot or whatever it is, Flying J. I think it was Pilot. And this guy came out with me. He's all dressed in camo and stuff in orange. He goes, damn, it's cold. And I'm thinking, I actually thinking, and I told him, I said, look, up north, it's colder, Not that, it's not really, I actually thought, wow, it's warmer down here. We got some rain now. But it's actually the best time to travel, at least number of people on the road, that kind of thing. But I'm on my final leg here. And I think I handled the volume a little bit. I'm just not sure. What I did is I took it in through Manycam, and I can adjust the volume in Manycam before it gets to Restream, but I can also turn the volume up on the device, the digital interface, so I can hear it in my headphones. Something screwy as far as Restream. I mean, it could just be it could be a hacker, it could be Russians, could be our people, could be anybody. I really don't believe it's that sensitive for anybody. I can't even imagine it being that sensitive. I mean, you're talking about on my device, it's like a quarter of one line or something. I mean, it's like nothing. There's no way that anybody could operate with a sensitivity at that level. So I don't believe that it's everybody, because they would cancel their subscription or something. It's almost impossible. I got an intermediate app going. Yeah, the roads are pretty bad up here, but with an empty trailer, it's not too bad. Yeah, I tried being personable with the woman, because she was shooting the attitude, and I'm like, how much when he dies, and it didn't work at all. And then she tried to push a vehicle with no left turn signal on me. And I told her, it's either setup or witchcraft. But nobody's stalking him, so he won't get a ticket. That's how it works today. The Popo is a communist, Soviet Union, communist crony communism, not pure socialism. They only have their victims that they stalk. Well, that rain's pretty good too. It'll wash the vehicle and the trailer real nice, but I'll lose about a half hour. But I don't care. I ain't gotta work tomorrow or anything. All I have to do is get this thing. It does suck if it's gonna rain tonight. I wanted to bring. Actually, it's covered over there. I'm going to my apartment first. I'm pulling all the blankets out. I'm going inside, inspect the blankets and fold them. I don't want to hear from these people ever again. In fact, when I rent my vehicle next time, I doubt I'll go to that store. The only thing that was weird, and I don't understand it, the other stores, after 1 o'clock, wonder was I being shifted over there because nothing, the trailer I could get at any time during the day at the other stores. All of a sudden, I can't get them at the other stores. I can only get it at that store if I want it in the morning. And then somebody tries to set me up, whether they intentionally did it or not. Here, take this illegal piece of equipment and drive it. I mean, you might want to have a screen with what she's saying so people can hear her. Unless she was doing it on purpose just to harass me. Or her quote-unquote boss. Fat Albert. I'm gonna you. What's the words of that? Oh, stationary somewhere we could pull up Fat Albert and watch Fat Albert. Oh wait, that was Cosby. I can't speak about that. That's evil now. That just shows you, man. Real. I mean, he did do some jail time, so I can't, say he got away with it scot free. I wonder if his jail time was better than my free life time. I mean, he got money, he got friends. I don't think anybody harassed Cosby. It'd be like, this is Cosby, man. I mean, we did grow up when we were kids. He was on Sesame Street one day too, sometimes. With Jesse. Yeah, I actually wanted to be like Leo Biscaglia for everybody, but you all didn't want it, so God had to find me another job. I'm actually inside like Leo Biscaglia for some people. The good people. We had to slow down. I'm not waiting till the morning. I'm not going to see her ever again in my life. I'm going to call their corporate people and ask them why I can't get a trailer in the morning at any of these other places if that comes up again. I mean, I want to imagine other people could do it for some reason. I mean, I did it once. I mean, I'm sure it's available somehow. I mean, I asked her once to repeat herself, and she had an attitude. I wasn't about to do it again. Speaking in a low monotone. I'm like, what is she saying? So again, this whole thing with the volume is kind of weird, where it doesn't, right? My headphones would turn down and off, and I wouldn't be able to hear it. But it's actually louder if I take my headphones off and just speak. I just got used to wearing headphones. I told her, I said, look, I drive this thing, Popo pull me over. I can't do that. Hey, look, it's Enid. I should have moved up here, huh? Nah, they would buy them out. It would just be all hell. Actually, Enid's too much drugs for me to live there, probably. They pay every addict. Oklahoma City PD, that's it. They pay every addict to harass me. And they all be out there buying drugs. I think they pay some addicts more than they do their cops. I love seeing Native Americans. They're such pleasant people. Actually, they're women. I don't know about their men. I don't see many Native Americans where I live. When I lived in Santa Fe, I saw them everywhere. And then now, on this ride up through Kansas, I saw more than I see in Oklahoma. It's weird. Well, I see them, they see me. Make some of them nervous, but I mean, you're just seeing me and I'm just seeing you. That's all it is. I'm in, but I can't get in out. They take money. They take money because all your bosses actually work for for corruption. Oh, I saw something. Res. Okay, the plate thing. I don't know how it all works. Again, you on the inside know how it works. I know they sensitize you to it, so you'll see it. But hey, he did it to Jim Spicer. He told me about it before I knew what he even said. Well, he would go, Tony, I hate these personalized plates. He used to say it to me all the time. I'm like, why, dude? I wasn't sensitized enough to him then, or at all, really. Like, Jesus, what? But then after they tried to kill me, along with all these years in the government, it's got to mean something. Like Bob, I had that thought. It also was, they did it to Jim. My friend that was a retired captain in state police. Yeah, Bob knew they got him. That's the worst part, He's sitting over there in Iranian or Taliban jail, wherever he ended up. And he knew that the deep state got him to make a wrong move. And Robin got her too. Oh, for the simple days when the deep state didn't run everything. You know, like all these Republican Congress people, they're deep state. They know they got operators out there operating. That's deep state. It's the ability to commit crimes without it even being investigated in most cases. That was weird. Like when Bob, I don't know, it was just so weird. It was just like Bob was there, and I was like, "What is this? What's going on?" Like 2007, whatever it was. Like, what did you all do? I'm like, oh no, Bob was working for the bad people with smuggling cigarettes. That would cost him his protection. But that was all just a story. I'm like, Bob cannot work for criminal stuff. We can't do that. That causes that. But that was all a lie. No, I was like thinking, well, I know that's Iran, but it's still a crime. You're not allowed to smuggle cigarettes, Bob. Here's a deep state lie to cover the story that they disappeared him. Question is, do they use LSD? Now, you have to understand that hypnotic effect, they can use all sorts of things, especially with the internet, to cause that. But I'm sure they use surface drugging. Like all these numbers and letters and patterns. Again, they engage in psychological experimentation. Even if you believe that it's a just program that some law enforcement entities engage in, it's still psychological experimentation on their victim if you really analyze what they're saying. They experimented on me psychologically for decades. Who's driving down the road with somebody in the passenger seat? Quit looking over at your passenger. It's causing me to do it. Oh, yeah, earlier. That's funny how this came to mind. 911 White. There's a team that should be looking into that. FBT. That's what the other part was. It was FBT White, and then it triggered 911 White. That came up, and then it said, right after 911 White, it went to 911 2. So. Or 9/11. It has a certain inference. When it's 9/11, not every time do I see it. Not every time that I see it does it have an inference. Sometimes it actually had an inference. Okay, I did see it that way for a while. Well, I don't know what exactly means, but are you hearing me? Hello, 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 hello. When I speak through the many cams, it has a delay to the volume meter. So is my GoPro here or is it in my apartment? They were trying to get me to stop at a hotel for the night. Oh, all sorts of. I was like hell, beating my way through this trip. They're trying to like break my bank, you know. So again, we're doing pretty good here. Got less than an hour. So when it was pretty cold in Kansas City, I do admit, you know, chilly cold. I had to put like my light gloves on for a second. But it was like, you know, I worked as an engineer, common engineer, in Korea when it was real cold, and it's Eastern Korea, and the ground freezes, and you got to break through, and and then like it'll be like freezing cold, and it'll be raining, and you'll be walking through rice paddies, and so it's not like quite like Vietnam, but you end up in rice paddies, and that's horrible. Rice paddies are horrible when it's like wet, especially I think it's probably worse when it's cold. I guess you got to worry about other things in the summer though. I've been in rice paddies where it was just like, you know, above freezing and nothing's frozen, and it's muddy and then it like freezes at night and the only time I woke up, I think in a sleeping bag with a man. It was a Taro. What was that guy's name? A Taro. We were patrolling somewhere. I don't know. It was rice paddies. It was wet. I don't even remember what our mission was. And it was like horrible. I think we actually had to assault someplace, and it was like an infantry task. And I think there was like, you know, there was stuff on the like pyrotechnics on the other side and kind of thing set up. And all I know is, or we primed a bridge. I can't remember. But it was just hard. We got back. I remember like slipping and sliding. I'm like, You know, it's like 33.5 degrees or something. And we get back and we're like sleeping, and then like because he went in the back of the dump truck, and I mean, there's no way that you weren't gonna like just go. It was during like an RTEP or something, so it was like, you know, we hadn't slept as it was, and then now we're out in the rice paddy in freezing cold weather and like jungle fatigues. Cheapo like government thermals back then, you know. I don't know if I got better thermal underwear today. But we were soaked to the bone. It was horrible. And we got into the van. I mean, I got in the back of the dump truck, and we just like, I mean, just no way. We were beat up so bad by the end of that thing, and like wake up. I like wake up, and there's a Taro. Like, yeah. He just looks at me like, because we were all dead. We were all dead. It was horrible. I don't think I experienced anything worse than that one. But I worked cold weather. Even at Fort Riley, you know, that kind of weather, like even a little colder than today, like it's going to be in the next week or so. And you just laugh. I remember being there with Duran, the Navajo. It was like me and him working, everybody else was asleep. Man, people were like wimps. And we'd be out there in the middle of the night working, you know, and you know, he did this thing to me. It was hilarious. We were out there. I mean, it was cold. I mean, it was like probably in the teens, and you know, maybe a little bit more, maybe in the 20s, but it wasn't much more than that. And where it was like, you know, like 12, 1 in the morning, and we're building a we're building a concertina fence or something. And he's like, oh, he's like, okay, be careful. Just hand me the pick a pounder down here to me before you come down here. And it turns out he's just on his knees, and he's making it look like there's like a drop off there. We just went crazy laughing. Picket pattern is like a battering ram when you go into the house. That's what it looks like, kind of. 2 handles and like. Then I think that same. Actually, no, that was at Fort Campbell. That one was Fort Campbell. No, this was Fort Campbell. This is a pretty monster exercise. I think it was the one where General Patrick took back then. They never used to do this stuff. I mean, he was one of the first guys I think was in this stuff. He takes the whole fort, shuts it down, and flies everybody over one state, and then you have to attack the fort. So we're coming back. We were building Constantine's defense somewhere, and this guy, I forget his name, and we were doing picket pounding. Well, it hit a rock, and the picket bounced. And there's 2 people on the picket pounder because it's really hard to pound into. And the other guy didn't know, and he pulls it. It was on top of the guy's boot. I think it cut his toe off. He was like, ah! Like the NCO in charge is like, oh, get out! I got a medevac. So they got in I don't know, do we have Jeeps back then? I think somebody had a Jeep. It may have been a Hummer. I can't remember. It was a Jeep or a Hummer. They medevac. Like, you lost the toe. I think he lost the toe. I don't think he slid it back on. It was some white guy. I don't remember exactly what his thing was. He was married. I don't think I knew. Well, back then I lived on the post, but I don't think I, knew. I didn't really know anybody at Raleigh too much, except for my troops. I guess they loved me, but even the other squads guys, they hated me. People hated me because I was just a good person and doing good work. But then again, it could have been this thing where they were putting people into me. Well, I called back after I left, and I think I got a job with the BOP by then, and I called back to talk to a couple people, I guess, or something, and they were all taking turns. A couple of them saying hi, missing me, which is weird. I never thought of myself like that, I used to go there in the morning, wake them up, stuff like that. And I don't dog people for the sake of. I'm like a weirdo. I only I dog people in PT or something, but good-hearted. And if you fall behind, I don't care. I'm not looking. Everybody's got their abilities. Like I said, some of the worst people in war, before war, were great in war as far as, intuitively being able to do things. My father was one of those guys that just was in the military for the war, and then he gets out. We get out. Again, I understood that kind of thing. Am my battery dying yet? Well, thank the Lord that this trip's almost through. Now, Oklahoma's fallen. It's horrible. I never thought it would be like that. I thought I was going to some place that was Christian, and I'd eventually find my Christian life again. The weird part is, and I was thinking about this today, the Suicide Squad thing. Remember I showed you that? I don't know if you remember that post. That was a setup. And that was before Nichols' suicide. Gotta wonder if they drove that past Nichols. I mean, I don't think anybody in Oklahoma really cares, and they're at Fall Gar and they're owned by the beast. Boy, long day. I knew it was gonna. I had a feeling it was gonna get messed up. It's actually a little better now. I was glad I got to use my new equipment a little bit. Yeah, I sure hope Kansas turns out. I hate God to destroy another state. I know some of you have money and things, but believe me. Again, your mind can't comprehend what life would have been without you doing this to me. Because you're that ignorant, that evil, that delusional. I can think some people that have like investments, they realize that now. Their retirement just like, God said, look, honey, I shrunk the retirements. No, I tried warning you for years. What do you think I was going to up the market and up everything all the time? I told you, I don't do this if I own some. God has me do it. And if God says don't do it, then I can't do it. And even if I wanted to do it, because there's certain things I wanted to do, and I can't do it. I think I thought about it, and I could tell I don't have the power to do it because God says no. It wasn't the market. I mean, at this point, I'm so sick of you and your money, all of you, and what you all do for money. That needs to be all gone, disappeared. Well, sometimes God doesn't move me to your community because you'd think, well, why doesn't he come here? He'd have a good life here. Because you would all fall, and God doesn't want to have to destroy your community. We do respect like innocent people that might actually fall. But I can't call the people here innocent that I've been around. I think what happened is they steered me in the wrong direction. I was supposed to go to like Garden City first in Kansas. And I guess if that wouldn't have worked out, I would have went, based upon what I've been seeing, I would have went to like Salina or Wichita. And then I would have probably, so in other words, 3 years ago, I was probably supposed to go somewhere in Canada. And I'm not in Canada, go away. In Kansas. And that's was one of my goals, one of my plans. And I saw Oklahoma City and ended up coming here. But again, it may have been. So again, this is probably where I was supposed to be. Like God today was like, well, if you'd have moved to Wichita when you were supposed to, like a year and a half ago, when they, were kind of doing some psychological stuff, which kind of messed you up. And if you'd have went then, you probably still would have moved to Kansas City right now. Or maybe 6 months ago or something. I'm not really catching up because I've had so many years of loss, and I'm beaten. I didn't lose. I'm beaten because there is no winning here when you do that kind of stuff. Battered and beaten like Jesus on the cross, but they do it psychologically and by physically blocking parts of your life. Yeah, some of the sickest of the sick, man, they're Nazis, and I don't use that term even kind of in the sense of Nazis, in the sense of what Nazis did to people. They're fully capable of it, no doubt. Trying to see what time it is here. Looks like my battery's about to die. Not now. I got like a half hour or something, I guess. I would. Oh, hey, don't change lanes there, buddy. But he's creeping up on the semi in front of him, and I think he was wondering if he should change lanes. Probably change lanes behind me, I guess. Now we're going uphill now, so he probably won't. Yeah, it's been a long day. But like this guy was like came up and spoke to me, and he was like, he's taking stuff to the trash, and he's like, well, "How are you out here without like a head covering and a jacket?" That's not that cold. It's gonna be cold. It's not cold. Yeah. I said I climatize this way. I don't, you know. But he's like, "Oh, this woman, ah!" And then I went over there. I'm like, "Ah, this woman." I mean, I'm sure she's like a career employee. I mean, she looks like it. I think the people at that particular place are like, you know, your career U-Haul people. They dress the part for sure. Vested and all that. And I'm sure she deals with a lot of shit. So, you know, but again, I don't want to have to deal with it ever again. I don't want to go to that store. I just don't understand why I didn't have the other choices where I'd be more comfortable and where I've been before. So, pretty dark tonight. Gotta tell you that. Yeah, I had to get on and start speaking because it's late at night and I got to keep myself focused. The thing is, if I had bought an FJ Cruiser, but see, if I had bought an FJ Cruiser and a Hummer H3, one or the other, when I wanted to buy one, I probably wouldn't be injured like I am. Because I would have gotten out of that apartment into a vehicle. It's her fault, believe me. Part of their psychological experimentation. So again, if they don't want you to like brush your teeth every time you buy a toothbrush or a toothpaste, they increase the torture, which includes hacking and all that kind of thing. May even drug you, make you believe it's in the toothpaste. They can wipe it on your door handle in your house, and all of a sudden your body knows you're using toothpaste all of a sudden, or you just bought toothpaste. Oh, they're sick, man. They're all sick. All right. Oh, I didn't bring it. Oh, yeah. There's a plate. I know in Kansas it looks like they're reversed. They have like it was 5. Actually, I know. I think I remember the plate. 515 res. So any res plate could be used to psychologically operate Native Americans, and that could be. I've said their suicides appear to be at least partially related to the psychological operations that I'm speaking about. So a res plate would be used to psychologically harass and possibly psychologically murder Native Americans. Now, conversely, if a person was doing something wrong, like transporting drugs or maybe going to a prostitute or whatever it was affiliated with a res, they could use that. Even innocent, though, because once the psychological operation moves past a certain point, you feel guilty for nothing, or they try to make you feel guilty at least for nothing. I found they did that to me in the Marshal Service. And then, like, when I got out, I'm like, whoa, what the hell? And then again, they revisit it when they think you heal. I mean, it's worth like 100 million easy if it was a real case, if they would actually allow it. And of course, I wouldn't have made it without God. And many didn't, even with God. So when the trailer gets a little funky, I just slow it down and I apply gas and then it straightens out. I figured out with it loaded up, I needed more air in my tire. That was the problem. But my air pump burned up. So again, they curse you from something and will you away from something, and later it manifests as what Satan's plan was. So what I had to do is like let the gas go down real low, and that way it was like the bottom half of the tank. When it was below a half, it started handling much better. I just had, I increased it to 38, and I was about to increase it to 44, and that's when it burned up. And I didn't even think to go look for an air pump. Again, when you're trying to do a million things at once. I'm healing like a million accidents. I can see them. I mean, I can see them affect me also, but of course, I'm not in the middle of an accident when I say it. So it's the spirit's trying to cause an accident in my vehicle, so I heal it. But I mean, it's there, so anybody else could have it happen also. That thing's still resident. It's trying to get me to pull off at Guthrie and spend the night. So yeah, I'm used to working a couple days in a row. When I was in the government, that was. Well, actually, when I was in the private sector, or not private sector, military. Freezing cold temperature. Wasn't as cold as I thought it was. It was getting a little chilly. And so I threw on my light gloves. My heavier gloves, I can't even find. The ones I bought at Walmart, I swear somebody was cursing me while I was buying them. And I didn't even, I wanted to return. I should have returned them. They were wrong gloves. I can't anything you can't use with a screen, you don't want to buy. So I ended up at this Casey's while I was driving, and I had to go off the highway a little ways. And the gas was more expensive on the highway. And the spirits were like, well, you're paying Casey back. Remember you couldn't get your car washed and it just wouldn't work. You couldn't get your car washed in Oklahoma City because they cursed you and cursed your van. And you got the Casey's and got like 2 or 3 car washes from them. Now you have to pay them back by getting gas here. Pay the higher price. That's how it works, really. It doesn't work at that. Oh, my derriere is sore. I'm actually not as much overall pain as I was earlier. Once I started working, doing the in the other side, unloading worked better. But it was pretty cold. I was like feeling like I might shiver. But I just moved through it real quick as best I could. Unloading is just you let gravity work. I may have let things slam a little bit more than I normally would, right? If I had more health, I'd have all this pain and everything. All right, we got something over here. We got blinking lights. Let's go slow through this. What are we looking at? Oh, I guess it's a road crew or something. But it worked pretty good. A real nice storage location. Oh, so they it said it was expensive. Then all of a sudden I saw $54. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to take this. And but I got it for like $51 a month. But that's without the insurance. You know how that works, right? But then when I exited, you have to spin around at 154th Street. So they may have set that one up. But the lady was real nice. Hopefully she stays nice. I mean, I thought the people were in the RV thing, but they turned out to be weird. Even deep state weirdos. All right, I gotta get up the road a little faster here. Out in the dark area, and I'm approaching Oklahoma City and Edmond, and I can see the light. It's funny. You can't see the lights, but you see in the sky the reflection of the light on the ground increasing. The cloud, probably a low cloud cover or something. Yeah, Edmond's about 11 miles. That's what it is. Now, I'm not enthusiastic as being back here. It's pretty evil. I mean, things like I told you, things start dropping on the ground everywhere. And, everything just can go wrong, will go wrong, that kind of thing. I mean, it's evil. So it's starting to happen. I'm starting to get home here. Go straight to my apartment. I'm trying to tell myself so I get it done. I don't just tell you over and over again so you'll do it. I also tell myself over and over again so I'll do it. I go straight to my apartment. I'm gonna get all the blankets out. I'm gonna make sure they're clean. I'm gonna fold them, put them in the bag. I'm gonna take it over there, and I'm gonna figure out. I'm actually gonna see if there's instructions how to. Like I said, it doesn't look like a normal trailer. I don't. Looking at it like, I just didn't feel like grabbing the truck like I usually do with the car carrier. It's just, it just didn't seem like the right thing to do. I mean, it's probably gonna end up being about the same amount of money, maybe a little cheaper to do it this way. And it just feels right, my stuff's out half my stuff's up there already. The only big thing I have left is the washing machine. So I'll put that on first. I don't think I'll take that over, but I might. And I'll put that on first and tie it to the front end. Put everything in the back end. Everything else moving forward from the back end. So I had 6 bins. I had stacked 3 high, somewhere around the middle. Then I had 3 those kitchen cart things, which are kind of heavy, not too heavy. I tied 1 to the front and 2 to the rear sides, 1 on each side. And I had this crazy recliner that I pulled it a certain way, and the leg part went up, but I couldn't figure out how to get it down. I've never sat in it. It's so cursed. Maybe I'll be able to sit in it in Kansas. I bought it and just sat there. I had certain plans, and I ended up doing it in a different way. I think I was able to like free my legs better, so I wouldn't have to sit when I speak. I could stand. So I'm glad I got to get online. I could focus from the actual driving. Started getting like 1 more mile, 1 more mile. Oh, I'm another mile further. Oh, it's 2 minutes later. I'm glad this. When I offloaded this stuff, I was like, I'm got to get out of here. I'm going back home. Not sitting there. And tomorrow I can take it easy. I might get back online on the inside stuff. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Darn it. I forgot to offload my mic stands. My mic stands are still in here. Aggravation. That's okay. I don't really think I have all that much. Like the shelving units, those plastic shelving units, like the good ones they got, the ones the Craftsman, the ones the black and yellow. I think they have them at Lowe's or something. I could fit at least 2 of those in here, and they're not that heavy. Oh, that's a drag. I forgot to offload the mic stands. They're sitting behind my seat. Win some, you lose some. But you know what? If you notice, I diversified before I did this. So their cursors go in so many directions, they're not as effective. And sometimes their curses conflict with other curses, so that depowers them. So I'm glad that this worked out. Yeah, it's a little more expensive up there, but like I said, the cheap prices down here aren't worth it. So what I have to do is, I guess I'm gonna leave these in my van for the next 2 weeks, maybe. I'll probably take them inside more. Not that I drive my van all that much. Actually, this is the most driving I'm gonna do for a while. When I get to Kansas, I'll probably do a lot less driving even than I've been doing lately because I'm trying to get ready to get out of here. Oh shoot, I gotta plug in my phone. Not that I really need my navigation. I got this, and I gotta find where the other end of this is. All right, I think I found it. Oh wait, that's not it. All right, so there's that. Something weird's going on. Somebody's coming up. I mean, it's got some weird energy. Hopefully, it's not a drunk driver. that was easy enough. My 280 watt hour jump start battery kit. Yeah, he might be drunk. Yeah, now he's on the left side. He was on the right side of the lane. He's riding that left line. Well, I think now he's over it. Now he goes back over the right. We all could do that, but you know, I think now he's back over on the left. Definitely using that left line. Question is, can he walk that line? Oh wait, where am I? Did I miss my turn? And now he's braking. Yeah, something's up. Oh shit, that's why he's braking. You know, middle of the night when they lose the load, you know. Uh-oh, what is that? Sounds like a helicopter. I don't know if you can hear the static. Getting kind of weird here. Energy's kind of whack. I have no idea how to use the Kirkpatrick Turnpike, so I won't try. Oh, the Kansas Turnpike takes charge cards. That was nice. They still have toll people. Oh, okay, this is my other thing that I had to broadcast. We need a national toll app. Everybody can have their own private toll systems, but part of that toll system is a GPS-based national toll app that can speak to each toll system. I don't know if that's in the plans or anything. I just was like, be nice if I could get on here. Like if I pull up and get a ticket, or if I pull up and I go to the kiosk, all I got to do is have my phone ready, and I can scan the QR code, and you know, or you know, you have it open and it registers that you're on some sort of toll road. I mean, it's one of those crony things, you know. They give their cronies the, you know, to manage give them money to manage their toll system. It's a way to pay the deep state kind of thing. What the popo got going on over here? They get him right at the on ramp, or pull over after the on ramp. Oh, something bad. What is that? No, it's like a pickup truck, and it looks like somebody took a tire and wheel off of it. I don't know what's going on there. I think you're probably going to tow it at this point. Well, the whole thing could have been just weird, but I'm sure I'll find out that if it's weird or not. I mean, if it's not weird, I mean, no, I won't find out for sure, but what'll happen is, you know, I'm not going to probably know, because like I said, I'm not going to have any interaction with this woman ever again. That's something I want to investigate. going the right way? I guess I am. I don't know. It's weird. It's starting to get. I know where it's coming from, the static, but no idea what the hell's going on there. That's weird. Was it Greg Darnell Ford GDF? I mean, those are bad letters. GDF. Once upon a time, nobody would put, people wouldn't put that up there. But sometimes people feel like, freedom fighter with that, Winter roads are shitty down there. All right. We have to get this mission over with. Yeah, what was that thing at the border? It was like, bing, like right in front of my eyes. Ah, like a momentary blindness. Oh well. Traffic's getting crazy in Oklahoma City. All right, I'm almost here, I guess. My turn. Had to go the poor man's way. Have to go a few extra miles. Like I said, I'm gonna get to my apartment. I'm gonna take all the blankets out. I'm gonna run inside real quick. I can park the vehicle there for like a half hour or something or less. There's a space where I can put it, but I can't keep it there. All right, what is okay? 3/4 of a mile. Well, when I was in Texas and I got injured, I didn't realize I was incurring a toll or something like that. I couldn't figure it out because I hadn't been around tolls and so on. When I was in Santa Fe, I pretty much stayed in Santa Fe every so often. I go down to Albuquerque. That's probably where I should have moved to. But then again, I don't know. People, those secret societies were getting a little insane there. They've been, when I moved in, they started, working them over and, working people over and getting people into the secret society and indoctrinating them. So it had run its course pretty much, and people were pretty whacked with it. It was there beforehand, obviously, but at that point, it was pretty insane. So yeah, really, I wasn't sure what to expect with the cold weather, but I kind of like it. I like Kansas when it's cold. I don't mind it. Did a lot of field training exercises in Kansas when it was cold, and kind of a nice cold kind of refreshing thing going on there. I was like, oh hey, guess I'm gonna have to wear some light gloves. I don't even know where my Walmart gloves are that I bought. I might just give them to charity or something. Go over to like Goodwill and go, these are no here. I gave him my antennas. Finally found my second antenna. I know I had two antennas, or I thought I had, and I did. My 810 antennas, SR 810 antennas. I gave him to Goodwill. One guy looked real happy. The first one was a magnetic one. It's probably what he wanted for Christmas. I think, oh hey, I'll get an employee discount on that. The CB ham radio thing didn't work out again, but it's again diversifying, and they curse that, and that opens up something somewhere else. But I don't like buy it because of that. God just says do this, do that. That's pretty much it. So I'm on Tumblr now. Went to see if they were like Twitter porn or any of that. They don't have it. I mostly look at the trans world. That's the biggest evaluation right now. I told this woman once, and she was rather young. She was a trans woman, and she had a boyfriend, and she was in love, and da da da. And I said, your life's probably pretty hard. She says, no, my life's pretty good. And I'm thinking, well, why does this trans feel that? Because a lot of them, you speak to people around the globe, there's a lot of oppression. Well, she's definitely a positive person. But what happened was she was young. She still had that guy. And then within like a year, the guy was gone. And she was she's still trying to stay positive, but you could tell that she was miserable, And she might be into some prostitution. So when they get older, a lot of them, it starts getting worse, And then, of course, by the time they're 40, a lot of them are alone. But it took a while for me to get the spirit thought going and all that. And they were like, well, she's still having a good life. At a certain point, that will most likely change. Now, she's probably still having a better life than me, but she's in the Philippines. But I think she used to travel, which I was wondering about that, because I try to investigate it, like not be burdensome to people and all that, but I'm trying to remember where I am to make sure I go the right direction. Wait a minute, did I go too far? Where am I? Saying to go this way, I guess I keep going this way. And I try to see what's going on in their lives and what might be affecting them, and whether they're into something that might be criminal. and whether there's an entity, like an organized crime entity involved, or are they just on, on their own, or is there a PIM? Is there a, organized crime entity that's managing whatever they're doing, if they're doing anything? And when she went to like these other communities, like Malaysia or Singapore or something like that, I can't remember where she was going. I was wondering if these were like, escort, I guess they call it, escort weekends or something. I mean, she had a pretty good life. If you want a party life, she's at the clubs. But then again, is she at the club as a prostitute, or is she there to have fun? Right. Now I got to make sure I take the right exit here. All right. It gets confusing up here sometimes. But like I said, at a certain point, she ended up yeah, this is a tricky little interchange here. She ended up, instead of having that, monogamous relationship, and possibly also being an escort at the same time. So the guy may have met her as an escort. He was like a foreigner, I think UK maybe, but I'm not sure. I tried, like I was looking at it, it didn't make too much sense. But again, if she was an escort and that was her boyfriend, it made sense. I didn't want to pry or anything. But I, started talking about, your life is pretty hard, I imagine, and pretty difficult, discrimination, things like that. And she said, no, it's pretty good. And I got a boyfriend and da 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 da. I think she was on Dating Asian. She's one of the people they forced into my life. So I was like, okay, let's see what's going on here. I'm kind of like a patron saint to trans people. I mean, even my theory about not being in the military is probably a valid theory. I mean, it's probably the best life for them to do what I said and get your retirement and then go work in the government, civilian government, work for the FBI and DHS. Go bug them. They don't understand it. Your retirement. 100% disability. That's what it should be. You still work for whatever. You just are disabled from military service. Yeah, that works. That's God's plan, probably. Again, each person has their own inside, and God judges each person's inside. So God doesn't hate innocent people that may be doing something that's a sin. Again, the Bible, that's kind of where the Bible goes, and then it stops. But it says there's additional information forthcoming as far as the end times. And isn't the second coming of Trump or anything like that, although that could be the beast, but I don't think Trump's the beast. Maybe he's beast-like. No, he's deceptive. Boy, I'm glad I made it back. Ugh. What a day. They're like, "Wouldn't it better have your own trailers? You don't have to worry about it." Go away. Be better that I had $1 million you owe me. Each one of you owe me $1 million. Then I'd pay people to drive the trailer. And I'd sit in the back seat and talk their head off. Like I used to do to my partners. Like people that used to work with me in the government, if they heard this, like that's driving with Larry. That's how Larry is when you drive with it. Never shuts up. And he just talks about whatever, you know. Like KB knew I woke up. She knew I woke up, I imagine. Because I used to be like a Republican guy. I didn't know anything. I was still a nice person. That actually was like a true believer. Like you could actually be a conservative and succeed without being corrupt. I even like thought maybe in 2016 that could have happened. Whoa, Popo! What do we got going on over here? This will be in the news. What is all? Is that a fire thing or what is that? But you can't tell because sometimes they, you know, if it gets crazy Popo thing, they send the fire trucks just in case, you know. There's a fire guy pulling away, fire chief or something like that, lieutenant or whatever it is. Hey, Pooper. What is this, Popo? I'm on my way to my apartment on Hefner Road. Popo. You know, from what I saw, it looked nice up there, you know, so saw a couple of Native Americans, and that was nice. I'm in their head telling them they're nice. I think they might be nice people and things like that. They have like a friend now. It's me. Like I said, I was in the new generation now. I'm in the millennials now. Millennials. Strategize a takeover. All right. Quit trying to make me speed. Like these people up there will zip by, woo, and then a cop will be like, "Oh, get that one, woo!" If they had made me drive around all that time looking for an apartment, I never would have got a ticket. I wouldn't even be driving my vehicle. I wouldn't have spent all that gas money. These people flying. Look like they're drag racing down Hefner. Like I told you, the DA owes me a speeding ticket expungement. But if I was a criminal, they never even would have pulled me over. They would offer me money to go do my neighbor dirty. It's actually not that cold. I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of like Kansas City was like in the afternoon. But I wasn't in Kansas City. I didn't go that far. Oh, my battery's running low. Stay peaceful, praise God, and all to do, praise God.